Good day to all of you. Here's my report on Dr. Seuss' written story. I chose one from his written entitled If I Ran the Circus. But before that, let me give you some information about this book. If I Ran the Circus is a children's book by Dr. Seuss, published in 1956 by Random House. Like The Cat in the Hat, or the more political Yertle the Turtle, If I Run the Circus develops a theme of cumulative fantasy leading to excess. Originally published in 1956, page count 65, publisher Penguin Random House, LLC, genre fiction, children's literature. And next is the writer or the author of the story, or the book rather. Theodore Seuss Ted Geisel was an American children's author, political cartoonist, illustrator, poet, animator, screenwriter, and filmmaker. He is known for his work writing and illustrating more than 60 books under the pen name Dr. Seuss. He was born on March 2, 1904 in Springfield, Massachusetts, United States, and died on September 24, 1991 in La Loja, California, United States. Next and I'm going to read the story. This book is from my dad, Big Ted of Springfield, the finest man I ever known. In all the whole town, the most wonderful spot is behind Smilo's store in the big vacant lot. It's just the right spot for my wonderful plan, said young Morris Mapgood, if I clean up the can. Now a fellow like me, said young Morris Mapgood, could get rid of this junk with a half-hour's work. If I could yank up those weeds and chop down the dead trees, and the whole of those old cars, these are just two or three, and then the whole place would be ready, you see. All ready to put up the tents of my circus. I think I will call it the Circus McGurkus. The Circus McGurkus, the world's greatest show on the face of the earth, or wherever you go. The Circus McGurkus, the cream of the cream. The Circus McGurkus, the Circus Supreme. The Circus McGurkus, colossal, stupendous, outstanding, fantastic, terrific, tremendous. I'll bring in my acrobats, jugglers, and clowns from 1,033 faraway towns to the place that you see Emily Ladies Gems right behind Milo's store in the great Maxwell stand. And I don't suppose old Mr. Smilak will mind when he suddenly has a big circus behind. After all, Mr. Smilak is one of my friends. He might even help out doing small odds and ends. Doing little odd jobs, he could be of some aid, such as sailing balloons and the pink lemonade. I think 500 gallons will be about right, and then I'll be ready for opening night. This way, stop right in. This way, ladies and gents. My sideshow starts here in the first of my tent. When you see what goes on, you say no other circus is. Half the great circus, the circus Macrocus is. Here on stage one, from the ocean of Oz, is a sight most amazing, a walrus named Rock, who can stand on the one whisker, this wonderful rope. On the top of the five balls, 2 for 10, is 3 golf, is marvelous trick, if I say so myself. And on stage number two, here is something quite new. From a country called from, this is Drum Samid Snum, who can drum my tune that you might care to hum, doesn't hurt him a bit, 'cause a drunk Sally's note. Of course, pebbles like us great hard to collect, but Smilos will manage somehow, I expect. After all, Mr. Smilos is one of my friends, and I'm sure he'll help out doing small odds and ends. And on stage number four, see the Willy Wallo, who can show his long tail as a sort of lasso. With a flip of the hip, with the tails of his kind, he can capture whoever is standing behind. He can capture up old Sneelock, I'm sure he won't mind. And now here's a hoodwink who winks in his wink hood. Without a good wink hood, a hoodwink can't wink good. And folks, let me tell you, there's only one circus with wink-hooded hoodwinks, the Circus Mark Circus. The show of all shows, there's no other showman who shows you show with the blindfolded bowman from Bigger Barrett, the world's sharpest sharpshooter. Look at him shoot through the holes in our donuts, 2 hairs on a worm. And now, come on this path where the spotlight is hot, and you see the spotlight a juggling judge who can juggle some stuff who might think he could not such as two question marks, which is a lot. Also 44 commas and also one dot. That's the kind of circus matters I guess. But that's just my sideshow, a start, a beginning. This way to a big tent you find your head spinning. While ladies and gentlemen, youngster and oldster, your heads will quite likely spin right off your shoulders. So hurry, step lively, quick ladies and gents, and get in our seats in my tent all of tent. My parade of parades is about to commence. You see drum major Snillock swings round his batoon, and my organs, mock workers come on. We had steaming pipes of all brass-plated tin, snorting all sorts of snorts with a bumbling din. That is a stupendous, tremendous, rarus, and when I play Dixie, please join in the chorus. And the flap mob turtle with right on the huffle end, and in the next line, a fine flummox with shuffle. The flummox will carry a large in a field and feeble with the flummox tail, while on the top flummox, 3 harp twang snarts will twang mighty twangs on their 3 sharper shots, while a bolster blows bloops on the 3 nose brooder, a noser blows whoops on the snoozle leader, and then comes a line who's partly a throat, then more style for 45 minutes about. And then, behind them, then while everyone stays, come on my to and fro marches, who march in 5 layers. The frosh march on toss, and the toss march on toss. Don't know how they do it, but that's how it goes. And now comes an act of enormous, no former performers perform this performance. This trance, this trance is so grippingly, sleepingly fighting down from the top of my tent like this lightning, through past posts of lads of big Nickelbash street. Lightman, what a man! On his roller skate skips, and he steer without fear, and you know a glance that is Nero, the man who takes chance for after chance, and he won't even rip a small hole in his pants. And now here, in this cage, it is a bismuth Syracuse, who's known for wide and spotted atrocious, who grows, holes, and grows the most blood-curdling sounds, and each tooth in his mouth weighs at least 60 pounds, and he chews up and eats with the greatest of ease things like carpets and sidewalks and people and trees. But the great Colonel Sneeros is just the right kind of a man who can tame him. I'm sure he won't mind. Then as Sneeros for a few minutes rests one high over your head, you see the best. of the world's finest, fanciest, frizzy trapezoid, my zoom a zoom through from West Upper Bendigo, who never quite know. Well, they zoop and they zoom, whether which will catch that one, or who will catch whom, or if who will catch which by what and just where, or just when, just so, just how in which part of the air. What a circus, my circus matters. My work, love, work, they say work us, this work us. Well, work and we work up so many surprises, you never see half if you had 40 eyes. And now again, Smirnoff braves Smirnoff is back, risking life on my painted life-risking track, while speedsters I call my colliding pollution, rise round in swift cars called abrasion, contusions, and Smirnoff just lies there, not one bit excited. I know he won't mind, he just simply delighted. And here is a contest of bruise, strength, and muscle. Kids Milok, my champ, of all champs, will now tussle and wrestle a beast called the Grizzly Ghastly, and slap him around. And he slammed me down fastly and pinned both his shoulders tight flat to the mat. Kids Milok will love it, I'm sure about that. And while that goes on there, look at this go on here. Have you heard my herd of true horns jumping deer? Every deer jumps through horns of another pell-mell, where his horns are jumped through the same time as well. By a deer whose horns also are being jumped through by another who's having his horns jumped through too, which I'm sure trains Nerox, who can train them to do. The whole tent will ring with hoorays and wheel shots. When I wheel in my wheels and they turn on their spot. First, my wheel number one will be the name that aims true spot, a spot that spouts Milos on to wheel number two. And the wheel number two spots his spots like a gun. And that spot old Milos right back on wheel one. And the forwards and backwards on spot after spot, my great spot riders Milos get spotted about just as long as the water they're spotting hordes of. Then my tournament nines noble ace without fear, Sir Hector, Sir Vector, Sir Buck and Sir Beer, Sir Hawkins, Sir Dawkins, Sir Jokes and Sir Jeer, clatter into the tent, and while everyone cheers stage, aroused about just with their boxing gloves here. Then he shakes himself loose, he starts down in a dive, such as no man on earth could come out of a line. But he smiles as he falls, and no fear does he feel. His nerves are like iron, his muscles like steel, and he clanks down with his hair still cold meat, 4,692 feet. Then he lands in a fishbowl. He manages fine. Don't ask how he'll manage. That's this job, not mine. Why he'll be a hero, of course he won't mind. When he finds that he has a big circus behind.